Men going their own way are crashing the economy. A big part of what's happening in Western society today is caused by men choosing to walk away from Western society, relationships, dating, and separate themselves entirely from any future of ever starting a family or even having a significant other. Men pay 80% of all consumer taxes. Men pay 80% of all taxes. Women make 80% of all consumer purchases. So think about this. Men pay 80% of all taxes. Women make 80% of all consumer purchases. Where does that put us? That means that all of the wealth that is flowing into the United States comes from men, the vast majority of it. While all of the spending, most of the spending in the economy is done by women. So economic activity depends on women, but the money that is paying all of the bills to keep society going, including the programs that keep people alive, right down to healthcare, infrastructure, all of it, it comes out of the pockets of men. The government cannot survive without men. When we talk about the notion of a plantation, what you need to understand is that the prospects of a man having a wife, a child, and striving to provide for his family, the very notion of love, is much greater than forcing someone to do something. Men will work harder, go longer, do more, accept even less, just on the prospect of having a family and obtaining the American dream, which men now realize is simply the American nightmare. And they've had to be asleep the entire time to have believed a load of baloney like that. The entirety of our country, modern society, has been built upon a lie, a Disney movie that was force fed to men over many generations. All of those all of those worldwide crises that men basically defended against and sacrificed themselves for was because of the love of family and country, believing that this country gave them more than they gave to the country, so they were willing to give everything and anything that they had to protect it. Now you have the lunatics who are out here saying, you know, men walking away, men going their own way are not really men. And a man's role is to give more than he receives and to be quiet about it, to endure, go where you're needed and endure and be and shut your mouth. Why would any man accept such a contract? The Sims aren't accepting that. The Sims all have ulterior motives. This is the way that they survive. Sims operate as agents of the state, and they are then by rewarded by getting access to women and to resources that are confiscated from men. This is their way of survival. Modern women, women in Western society, they operate in this capacity as well. They operate as agents of the state. They reallocate wealth and resources from men to the state, and then they are rewarded by the state for doing so. But if they fail to do this, then the state says that, well, we have no need for you. So, because the state, these are not partners. They are not partners with the state. At best, they are accomplices. But the state does not care about them. The state is simply using them to gain access to the wealth and resources of men. And that's it. If you look at this comment from Jeff Dories, he says, angry. It is all starting to make sense now. Women spend 80% of money in the economy. So when men are not in relationships with women, it affects everything else. They just announced that Walgreens is going to shut down 8,600 stores. Who do you think the majority of people shop at Walgreens are? Women. Guys, the economy is tanking because men are walking away. And when men believe that they have something that something to fight for and to even sacrifice everything for, they work much harder than they would work on your typical plantation. They find new ways to make more money. They work every waking moment. They sleep 4, 5 hours a day, if even that. They will stay up for 32 hours straight. It does not matter. 48 hours, it does not matter. They will go for days without sleep, and they will do this for years to provide for their families and protect their countries because they believe that their country is giving them more than they are receiving, and that and that having a wife and kids is giving them more than they are receiving. Because even though they are fighting every single day in the world, when they go home, they are the kings of their castle. But the truth is that no longer exists. That that has been taken away from men. That contract has been broken. But then all the while, women now want that. They still want it. They still want the contract in place because they cannot survive without it. So women have walked away. They walked away. They went and did their own thing. But now they want men to come back and rescue them. They want men to come back and save them. And it's not going to happen. The men are gone. The men are gone, and the men are not coming back. The men have said, yeah, miss me with that. Miss me with that. I'm not sharing my cookies with you. All right? I'm not sharing my toys with you. You do you, I'll do me. And that's it. I have mine, you have yours. And that's it. But the thing is, women cannot survive without men. They cannot live without men subsidizing them. That's the reality that they're in right now. Women screwed up. They've gone pretty much as far as it can go. They thought that they were in a relationship with the state and that the state was their partner and that there was something special waiting for them. They thought that they had control over the state. They thought that they were the state. They thought that the matriarchy had taken over. Guys, the more things change, the more they remain the same. So now you have all of these women who are in terrible shape. Absolutely terrible shape. All right. The writing is on the wall. They can't pay their bills. They're living off dates. They're bumming food off men. They can't even afford an Uber home. While men are sleeping, eating, playing games, living well, and women have none of this. And I've said this already countless times. Women in Western society, they will no longer have access to guys like Jeff. You know what Jeff does? Jeff is actually an eBay specialist. This guy's a specialist on eBay. Okay? He knows how to make money on eBay selling essentially junk. And I shouldn't call it junk, but things like the DVDs and stuff like that. He basically knows the algorithm to sell on eBay. He's one of those people that can sell things on eBay and make a considerable profit because he's figured out the algorithm. All right? Women won't have access to men like him anymore. This man can pick up, go to another country, and live happily there for the rest of his life. He understands economics. So these women who wanted Chad, Tyrone, Ray Ray, Pookie, Enrique, Little Miguel, Quan, Pancho, especially Little Pancho, they love Little Pancho. Guess what? They won't have access to him anymore. Because Little Pancho, he just comes and goes, comes and goes. That's all Little Pancho does. He's a plumber. He lays down the pipe. And then once he's done, he scurries off like a mouse to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. The sisterhood is in a complete and utter free-for-all. Just look at what the sisterhood is saying. Peanut boxes. Society is also coming for us women over 30 who have opted out of motherhood and marriage. Society is upset. We don't want to birth the future generation of taxpayers and humans bound to enter indentured servitude. Oh, they're so virtuous by doing this, by not having children or getting married. There's no reason for men and women to not like one another. We are brothers and sisters. We need to stand up for each other as humans and fight for collective freedom. Collective, you mean communism? Life in society is set up for us all to fail and never truly get ahead. No, that's absolutely incorrect. Society is set up to prioritize the needs of women. What kind of nonsense is that? Did you not, guys? Do you not remember what I said? Women would say that feminism got us everything that we wanted. Now let's fight it together. And while the label feminism may go away, the legacy of feminism would live on. She goes, "I love you, my brothers. I love you, my sisters. Let's be friends and help each other." Physical intimacy has become a distraction. You be running around on the streets being 304s and telling the men that you don't want them until now you're in your 30s and 40s and you need a man to survive. So now you want a plan B guy. So you didn't want him in your prime, but now you want him on your decline. Uh-huh. Yeah, we are getting sassy over here. Snap, 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 snap. Amen. You know, the sisterhood, guys, the sisterhood is basically broke. They're broke. They don't have it, y'all. They don't have any money. And of course, again, I responded to her by saying, so this is a space where everyone can talk. Women are free to talk here. With that said, we keep it real. You opted out of the family unit. You're in your 30s and you opted out of marriage. You opted out of motherhood. You believe that physical intimacy and possibly even the desire for physical intimacy is a distraction. However, you want men and women to come together and fight for one another. People give value to receive value. Feminism got women everything that they wanted. If women don't marry or have children, then they lose access to the family unit outside of their immediate family. Hence, if they want access to resources and security that they cannot provide for themselves or a provider and a protector, they must look to the state for those things. All right? They traded men for the state, and now the state isn't coming true like it used to. And now they're pissed off and they want men to come back and subsidize their living. And when men say no, they call them predators. But let's continue. No man wants to provide for and protect someone or something that doesn't give him any value in return. Even simps have ulterior motives. Although, in the case of normal, non simp men wanting a return of value for being providers and protectors, I don't see that as an ulterior motive. I see that as being a person of value that is not allowing others to take advantage of him. A a man who is giving away his value for free or forced/coerced into giving away his value for free, even under the guise of community, humanity, and love, is really just an indentured servant that is being gaslit. She responded, of course, red flags, an angry guy, red flags and alarm bells going off with your response. You sound predatory. No sex from sisters, no physical intimacy from sisters equal no help. You've just shown me your true colors. And again, Peter Bain said, you're cooked. Finished. Guys, this is the sisterhood right now. The society is breaking down. These women don't have any money. All right. High inflation, men walking away, 30 million men are not working. Dudes are sitting at home playing video games, chilling, eating well, sleeping well, crapping well on their own throne. No one else is using their toilet other than them. I really don't like anyone using my toilet other than me, all right? I like going to the bathroom using my toilet, and it's just me, myself, and Irene, all right? That's it, okay? And when I say Irene, I mean I, okay? These modern day women have lost it all, okay? There's a saying where, there's an old saying where, someone does not even have a pot to pee in. And this is the reality that now they're entering into. Okay. They are pissed off. They are furious. They have lost access to the family unit. The state is no longer there to subsidize their living. And the moment a man says, no, I'm not going to give my resources or value to you, they basically say, okay, well, I'm going to have you arrested by the state. I'm going to put you on social media. I'm going to destroy your life because you won't give me your resources. And that should serve as an example to other men who refuse to give me what I want. If you don't give me what I want, I will slander your image. I will destroy your name, and I will have you locked away and everything that you have taken away from you because you didn't want to give it to me. So now these women are only giving men more incentive to not just walk away, but a lot of men to completely go MGTOW and separate themselves entirely. Because men walking away, not some MGTOWs are also MWAs, but not all MWAs are MGTOWs. MWAs are men with alternatives, are men with attitudes. Basically, they're walking away from the things that don't work for them and towards the things that do. If a man finds a woman in Western society, a good woman in Western society, he may walk away with her. Okay. But the thing is that for every one good woman in Western society, there are 20 good men chasing her. Hence, a lot of MWAs also become passport bros, go overseas, and they look for someone overseas. Or maybe they just decide that they want to opt out of dating, relationships, and marriage. But if they choose to go and find someone at a later point, they will. and they may go overseas just to find their peace, or they walk away in Western society and they basically live in a shoebox at the side of the road. It really comes down to that. The average man doesn't need a lot to survive, and I've said this already, that these are all one-time purchases. You pick up your television, you pick up a nice television, you pick up a laptop, you pick up a Nintendo Switch, or all your games. I mean, guys, think about this. For the average man, the average man doesn't even want all of these fandangles. Like, a lot of guys are happy with a cell phone. All right, they've got money in the bank. These damn bearded men in the mountains. I can't. I don't. I know. I have too many of these guys on my channel. They give me the dead. I don't want to say the creeps. It's just a frightening image of this man with a beard just sitting in the woods, just happy as day. These terrible mountain men. I don't want to run into any of y'all. All right, we're us mountain men are good guys. I agree. I don't want to see any of you. Okay, I don't want to run into any of y'all. I'm not going out to the woods. Don't invite me. I've had, y'all are trying to lure me out there. Lure me out there. I'm not coming out there. I know I have no business in the woods. I'm not going out to the woods. I'm not going anywhere near the mountains. All right, I know better. Okay, I'm staying in my lane. I've learned my lesson. Shoots. But but the reality of it, guys, is that a lot of these men, they don't give a damn. All right, they've walked away from society. They don't need much to survive. A lot of these men can live off the land very, very easily, very, very easily, because they have skill sets that they've gained over decades. So this is all just a big game for them. In fact, many of them have been waiting for this day to come. They've been waiting for the crash. They've been because this now they get to practice all of those skills and watch everything go to hell. I'm telling you guys, nothing lasts forever, and women have invited this misery upon themselves by choosing to opt out of the family unit, opt out of marriage, opt out of and opt out of having children, instead developing marrying the state, and believing that the state would give them everything they want, everything that they need, and in return all they would have to do is get rid of the man. And now we're seeing how that's working out for them. And if you look at the members of our military, our military reserves is only 1/10 of what it was 50 years ago. 50 years ago, when we had a substantially smaller population, we had almost 2 million people serving in the military reserves. 50 years later, we have less than a tenth of that. We have less than 200,000 people serving in the military reserves. And you have the idiots that are like, oh, we don't need boots on the ground. We have drones powered by AI and robots powered by AI that will defend us in times of crisis. We do not need boots on the ground. China and other countries, they have their own problems. They can't do anything right now. They have to worry about their own problems. And because of where we're situated geographically, no one can ever touch us. And then we have the largest number of firearm owners in the world here in the States, so we're protected. These idiots are, guys, they are in such high copium right now that they're literally on cloud 9, because they are not here on Earth. And then if you look at what existing members of the military look like, you're like, these dudes are all going into their soft guy era.
Because I'm seeing all these dudes online talking about soft guy era this, soft guy era that. Y'all want girls to pay for stuff. And honestly, bro, you type of dudes, bro, it's damn right. It's about time. Personally, if you ask me, it couldn't have been said better. I'm just relieved to know that it ain't just me. You want to come here asking me what I got to offer, what I bring to the table. Baby, I am the table. And it's not the question of do I got money. Obviously, but I want yours. How could we speaking our mind? Now we sassy. Now we acting zesty. What y'all be saying? And did. Don't care. I'm finna put your ass to work. I'm looking for the big ballers, okay? When that bill comes to the table, don't even look in my direction. It's giving broke girl. And baby, if that's the case, that's fine. Just say that. No judgment, but next caller. I'm sorry, boo. No money on your dunion. It's gotta go. At this point, I'm not even answering the call unless I get a cash app first. Like, what? Where's my money for my haircut? You want me to pump the gas? I forgot my wallet for me, my favorite line. And don't ask me to take out the trash. Baby, I'm in Margella's. This ain't no soft boy era. This is soft boy forever. What are you talking about?
Guys, I want you to look very carefully at his shirt, all right? Look very carefully. It says U.S. Air Force. Y'all, these men are really in their era right now. And he felt very, very comfortable. But that's how Air Force has always been. These men are sassy as hell, all right? These men are sassy as hell. Like, walking around in their pretty suits and everything. Pretty suits, shine shoes. Oh my goodness, going to banquets like something out of Beauty and the Beast. Oh my gosh, bro. Listen to me. He felt so proud posting this while he was in uniform. Let them come for him. Let them. What are they gonna do? But I mean, that's just how Air Force is. That's how they're always been sassy. Air Force has always been sassy. Always been sassy. All right. You're lucky if you get into the Air Force. You are lucky if you get into the Air Force. Oh my gosh. Women out here crying their eyes out. Where have all the good men gone?
Here's some crazy research for you. So, a third of men, 33%, a little over a third of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner. Even if you weren't to remarry, just to have a partner. I mean, I've talked to a lot of men. I've got my answers, but I want to hear it in the comments. So please, drop it in the comments.
Guys, a lot of these women are beginning to realize that without a society, I've said this before, I say it again, a society without its men, a country without its men is not a country. A country without its men is a wasteland. If the men say we're done, we're not doing it anymore, everything falls apart, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it. Not whatsoever. I was looking at this comment from Mayumi, and Gen Z is looking like crap right now. And she says, "I'm 34 and still not a wrinkle, and not even a gray hair on my husband's body, and he's 43. We don't go into the sun without protection, and we eat right. Gen Z women wear too much makeup, and it's damaging their skin." Don't forget, Mayumi is actually a pediatrician. They will they will look like they're 80 while many of my sisters will still look sexy and lovely. Guys, women in Western society are absolutely cooked. Women from other countries are laughing at them. They don't feel bad for them. All right. These women decided they didn't want to be wives and mothers anymore. And look at what's getting them. This video, hard times have arrived for women. What does Mayumi say? She goes, women, wow, Western women are really a lost cause. They have had their time in the sun and had it their way for too long. Now it's time to pay the piper. Guys, there's nothing happy. There's no out for them. All right. Notice this other woman that I just showed you a video of. She's like, "Man, why are you leaving us?" I see you guys talking about it in the comments all the time, but saying that you want your peace and so forth. But I need more. I need more explanation than this. Yeah, guys, she's scared. She's scared because while the sisterhood has been destroying everything, ripping down, destroying the relationship with the men, she's here now like, we're screwed. Guys, why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? She cannot cope with it. Women are waking up and realizing a country without its men is not a country. A country without its men is a wasteland. The men are just going to sit around and watch everything go to hell. Women believe that, well, even if we treat the men poorly, even if we do the worst of the worst things to the men, they still have to live here, and they still have to protect us, and they still have to provide for us because we're here and we're not going anywhere. Well, the men are walking away. The men are retreating. The men are staying inside. They're building home gyms. They're chilling at home. They're eating well, sleeping well, living well. Men don't need a lot to survive. All right. For a man, for the average man, they're living simple lives of luxury and comfort. Women don't understand that simplicity is luxurious for a man. Okay? You see guys like the Tates. You see guys like I forget this idiot's name over in also, I don't know if it's Australia, surrounded by all of these women and in bikinis, and I like, oh, look at all the money and all the wealth. The average man doesn't want that crap. The average man wants a simple life. He doesn't want a bunch of junk inside of his home. He just wants a comfortable home. He doesn't want to be bumping over stuff. All right? He wants very soft, neutral scents. He doesn't want all these smell. Oh my gosh, this stinky smell. Most men don't like that garbage, all right? They like a nice, clean, simple area. They don't like having a bunch of different junk. That's why so many guys who are wealthy, they wear the same exact clothes over and over and over for years, even if they have holes in it, because they've worn them. They know these clothes work for them. They're comfortable, they're clean, and that's it. Men don't like the added stress. And that's why men are able to survive and thrive and live almost anywhere. Women are not. When men can suffer, men are able to not only suffer, but they're able to endure suffering and thrive and overcome suffering. Women cannot do this. Okay? Women cannot suffer for long periods of time. Men can not only suffer, men can evolve and go beyond the suffering and keep on grinding. I get so many messages from a lot of you who let me know, like, oh, Christina Applegate is crying about her MS, and it's like her life is over now. I get messages from you guys who are like, yeah, bro, miss me. They need to miss me with that. I've had MS. I have lesions on my brain. I'm an electrician. I've got kids to raise. I'm a single father. I got things to do. I got diagnosed with MS 7 years ago. I don't have time for that. All right. I don't have time for that. I'm a man. All right. I've got work to do. I have to survive and take care of myself and provide for myself and my children. All right. This is the reality of being a man. Okay. Not only do we survive, we endure. We survive, we endure, we overcome, and then we thrive. That's how it is for men. Men going their own way are crashing the economy. What do you guys think regarding this phenomenon? Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.